Hey guys, and welcome back to Welsh Trade TV. So while everyone was obsessing over that Rashford cameo, there was a particular disaster class that just seemed to fly under the radar, and that was from 5 times Champions League winner Casemiro. In today's video, I wanted to take a look at whether this is just a one-off performance or whether there's starting to be an alarming trend now throughout the course of this season. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it.
Right, okay, let's go.
So there's no doubt in that Casemiro's first season with United was a success. He added that steel to the midfield, that solidity, and then he also brought that mentality that he had from his Madrid days as well. And he also scored some very vital goals along the way. We knew the United were asking a lot of him in possession, particularly after United failed to sign Frenkie de Jong.
You were the chosen one!
Casemiro was a bit of a panic buy, but as I've said, he did add vital stuff to our midfield. But United were asking a lot of him in possession, there's no doubt about it. He no longer had that world-class midfield to help him play out from the back. And then United were asking him to do a lot of stuff that he wasn't doing at Madrid, and he did struggle at times. But that's why Erik was playing in midfield alongside him to take away some of those responsibilities, and that partnership worked. This season, though, things have just gone from bad to worse, and United this season, the whole setup has been an absolute shambles, we know. You've got to cut them some slack. The amount of spaces in that midfield has been there, whether Casemiro has played or not. We know that defensive line likes to drop a little bit deeper, leaving a huge amount of space for United to recover when they lose the ball.
It's a turnover. Getting counter-attacked again. How many times do you see Manchester United players having to run 40 yards back towards their own goal?
But this season, though, for me, particularly Casemiro, he just looks like a guy who's simply just ready for retirement now. He looks like a guy who's fed up of having all that defensive responsibility, and now he just wants to get up the other end of the pitch and score some goals. And that's not helping United at all. He's diving into reckless tackles high up the pitch, and sometimes it's just frankly embarrassing the way he just ends up sliding in, gets nowhere near, and then the opposition team is clean through on United's back line. He's lost that athleticism to try and get himself back in a good defensive position as well. So you add all those up, and it's not a good recipe for United in the midfield. This Chelsea game, I think it just highlighted massively the troubles that he's had this season. These haven't been one-off things. These have happened throughout the course of the campaign. Yes, as I've said, the tactics haven't helped, but I think particularly Casemiro now, there are very, very worrying signs in there. This first one particularly was the worst one. People have talked about Rashford and they've talked about United's lack of want in general, but Casemiro just sums that up, and people just haven't talked about it, and it's mad to me, because this was horrendous. Jackson picks up the ball, United have just lost it, Casemiro's in a decent enough position. He's close enough to Jackson here, you think he can stop that counter-attack. But he literally just lets Jackson run past him. He strolls alongside him, doesn't have a care in the world, and then he just leaves the job up to Maguire and Varane. Literally just strolls along. Even the commentators noticed how bad this was. A little bit later on again then, the next few clips are going to be examples of just Casemiro diving in when he just really doesn't need to. This time around, Gusto has the ball, and guess who's coming through? Casemiro. There's absolutely no need. Next thing you know, he's on his back again. Gusto strolls past him, and immediately United again on the back foot. There's no need for him to be diving in here, and he's done it all season long. Yet again, another example, United just lost the ball, so their attackers and a few defenders are high up the pitch, but they're in a decent enough counter-pressing position. But you can't counter-press at the minute with Casemiro in this, it seems, because of these type of errors. All of a sudden, Casemiro dives in when he really doesn't need to. Enzo Fernandez skips past him. Now United immediately on the back foot. So there was a good counter-pressing opportunity there. The spacing was good from United. But Casemiro diving in means these United players have got to run 40 yards back towards their own goal. Simply just shouldn't happen. Yet again, another example of him diving in. Gallagher goes past. Why is Casemiro diving in there? And then he's on his back while he's just watching Caicedo shoot. Why? You do not need to be making these type of tackles. He makes so many of them in the game and very rarely they come off. Last one I'm going to show, because there honestly was some more, but it's just going to, I'll be here for sort of 10, 20 minutes just going through these sort of highlights from the game. This one, Gallagher, you can see Casemiro there. You can see the massive amount of space that's behind him, in behind, obviously, United's midfield and in front of our defence. And then Casemiro just lets Gallagher run off the back of him. Surely he should be the one, as United's number 6, marking that sort of space in between midfield and defence, but it simply just isn't happening often enough. And for a guy who's been so consistent in that position over the course of his career, for me it's just very worrying signs. He's heading towards his mid-30s now, and in hindsight, the Casemiro signing was another knee-jerk reaction that in the transfer market just sums up all the bad things that's happened under the Glazer regime. He does in certain ways just remind me of Di Maria. Yes, he was super successful at Madrid, but there was a reason why Madrid were happy to let those players go. And I think United did him a favour on both counts. I will cut him a bit of slack this season. He's have had some injuries, so I think that those have hindered him a little bit. But yet again, he's an aging star on 300k a week, and he's going to be hard to move on now. The links to Saudi have been few and far between, but that does seem like hopefully the most likely outcome, I think. I think that's going to be the best option for United if we can move him on. I thank Casemiro for his service, because I do think last season he did add a lot to our midfield. But this year, I think it's just time to freshen up now. We need to find a young partner in there for Mino and build this team for the future. Having these type of players, yes, they might have once been really good. But having players the wrong side of 30 on these ridiculous wages, I just think it's too much now. It's not just Casemiro, there's a few other players as well. And it's been a symptom of United's problem in the transfer market. We go after these type of players. We're chasing that instant success. Casemiro did bring that for one season. And now United are suffering from it in the long term. And I think it just goes to show the troubles United have had in the transfer market for the last decade now. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments down below. Do you think Casemiro still has a future beyond this season? Or do you think United should cash in now? Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed, guys. Stay tuned for everything United, and I'll catch you in the next one.